Yo, what is up guys? It's your boy Dion here, and I'm going to be trying to give you every tip you need to win FNCS within 5 minutes. In this video, I'm going to try to give you the most useful information I can give you without giving you the tips that you've heard a million times before in every single video, and let's get into it. Before we talk about Allspawn, we have to talk about your drop. Now, a lot of people pay for drop maps, but I'm going to give you guys a better and free way to do this. So, if you know a team that lands at your drop spot, all you have to do is go into your compete tab, go to their tournament VODs, and then every single time they pull their glider, go on Fortnite.gg and mark that exact spot. What this is going to do is it's going to tell you the best place to pull your glider depending on where the bus is. If that doesn't work, head over to landingtutorial.com and just mark out all your drops while you're on the bus, and this should give you the best drop. It's very important that you don't move left or right while you're dropping. If anything, turn on auto run and make sure to move straight forward. This makes sure you get down first before everybody else. Allspawn fighting is dictated by who controls more space and who controls the high ground. This allows you to gain more information and make the first move on your opponent before they're completely ready for it. It also makes it easier to set up pinches because you'll know everything that's happening even if your opponents don't know what's happening with you. Mid game is all about surge tags. You want to put yourself in a good high ground position so where you don't have to struggle to get surge the entire game. Ideally, you'd want to take a place mid zone, somewhere hopefully on top of a hill, on top of a house, or an IO base. If not, playing edge zone is fine, but you want to control your choke points. If you've played the game long enough, you know that there are certain points on the map where everyone's bound to funnel into depending on the zone. It's important that you stay ahead of the people who need to get there and get these hold tags and possibly even get yourself some free kills off of it. You want to avoid mid-game fights in FNCS, but obviously they do happen and sometimes they are necessary. It's important to remember that you're not stuck in a clicks box fight scenario. You can always go up or around to get the angles you need to end the fight faster. Make sure if you do have the option though that you try to stay lower, because the team who's up usually is going to end up being the one getting third partied, and also try to take your fights on the side where third parties aren't. You want to make sure that the other team is getting sprayed and being pressed into other people while you get to reap all the benefits of them dying. Make sure to play together. You are not 3 solos, you are 1 trio. Try to isolate people and make as many 1v3 situations as you possibly can. Once you have the damage advantage, people tend to panic and freak out, so all you have to do is just wait for one of their teammates to mess up or make a desperation play, and you'll end up getting yourself an easy kill. If you need to make an impact play during the mid game, boxes with no floor are the perfect target. If you see a cone with no floor under it, oftentimes you can triple spray in from above as a team and get a kill before the other team is even aware you're in their box. This is a risky play, but when done correctly, it can end up in cat mats for every single player on your team. Before we get into endgame, here are some random tips you guys might be able to use in your gameplay. If you struggle with drop downs, try using pre-edited floors. It'll make sure your opponent can't hold the floor and that it's already open when it gets down. Make sure that when you're calling to your team, you call for a player. Instead of saying somebody, make sure to just use a person's name, usually whoever's closest to you. It makes it a lot less confusing, and that way everyone can just jump to the play and be on the same page. Whenever you're mid-game box fighting, make sure the player that takes the wall is also the one that edits it. All he has to do is say that he's editing, and the other 2 players get an easy timing shot off, and this should secure you a free kill. Chug splashes are key when thinking about storm surge. If you're under surge and you're getting hit, don't worry too much if you have chug splashes. Obviously you do need the tags, but it's enough to heal your whole team up to where you don't have to make an impulsive play and end your game right there. Sitting on low walls is a perfect way to avoid a drop down. If your team's getting dropped down a lot, make sure to implement this tip because it is literally impossible to counter from the other side. If you're going for a double medkit play, don't play it early. A lot of people make this mistake, and there's just no reason to play the medkit early if you have the chug splashes. You literally get it off no matter what, and you still are able to get 2 medkits off regardless. Now, moving into your end game. The 2 most important things in endgame are that you control an edge of zone and that you stick together as a team. A lot of teams will make the mistake of trying to overfrag early for refreshes. You need to be really looking for refreshes once both of your back tarpers have run out of mats. So when everyone only has wood left and there's no hard mats left, that's when you need to go for plays as a team. Otherwise, you need to just stay alive on front side and let kills come to you. For the most part, you're gonna be able to find more kills just having good positioning than going for random plays on solos back zone. This way you also make sure all 3 of your teammates are alive and can go for plays together, and that no one gets picked off on some random play. When you're launch padding in the half and half and first moving zones, try not to land directly above a team. And if you do land directly above a team, try to get yourself at least 1 away from them so they don't have a direct spray down onto you. Having to go out 1 to spray you down or to try to attempt to play on you is actually so much harder than just spraying someone directly above you, because it's a lot easier for you not only to go for counter plays on them, but it's also harder for them to get good angles on you. When going for high ground in the late game, it's really important that you ramp away from the other team. Make sure this other team has no chance to connect to you, and also make sure you're building in your hard mats as soon as you land. The best way to hold high ground is to have 2 forward and 1 up top playing ultimate. If you have 2 on top playing ultimate and 1 going forward, you're more than likely gonna get landed on and going to die instantly. When moving zones pull really far and you just have to cover a lot of space in a short amount of time, try to use your wood. As long as you're not on the most congested layer and people aren't looking at you that much, you can probably get away with wasting 200 or 300 wood and then getting the front side, switching back to your hards, instead of wasting all your hard mats there and then getting in and having to use your wood when it really matters. Going 35 meters under a team and then padding up is a perfect launch pad. This means your glider won't pull at all and you'll be able to shoot practically instantly. This is very useful in late game for taking high ground. Well, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. It was a quick one, just a few tips I thought I would put out before FNCS drops. It's nothing major. I'd like to believe that at this point of the season we already all know what's going on, but just to put some new things and some old things back in you guys' brain cells so you guys can do as best you can during this FNCS. And I'm gonna catch y'all. Peace.